got called again. Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott.
And I'm Toby O'Neill, nephew.
Oh my God, you got it right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Jesus. I was looking at you. I said, here we go again. He should be on. I like that.
I'm ready.
How your day been, nephew?
It's been great. It's been great. I got out and had to get some work done on my truck, but I'm rolling.
Okay. So you're rolling now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it anything major?
Oh, no, it was, what I'm saying, just my personal truck, you know what I'm saying, and my little business truck, and I had to get it. So the fuse is fixed and little stuff. It wasn't nothing major. But vehicles are paramount.
Exactly. And that's your money,
Yes,
that's your money, right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Dana Hudson, good evening to you. Love you big time. You are first on the scene tonight. Thank you kindly. Toby, I put out as a title for tonight's show, Democracy.
Democracy.
And I did that simply because our democracy, in my opinion, is under attack.
Oh, yeah.
All the signs are there every day. You see it. But we got here because of one man that entered into the White House. One man that entered into the White House with a hidden agenda. Ms. Moore, good evening to you and welcome. A hidden agenda. Simply put, my agenda is me. I can get in this seat and use it for my benefit. I can get in this seat and help my company make bigger bucks. Exactly. That's why I'm here. I could care less about the American people. I could care less about democracy. And I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm not going to be sneaky. I'm going to let you know who I am. I'm going to let you know who you elected. Sad but true, Toby. Most people knew who Trump was before they put him in the White House. They knew it. They knew that he was a problem child. Florence, good evening to you and welcome. They knew that he was a problem child. They knew that this dude was not only wrong for this country, this dude would be detrimental to the United States of America. When the president of the United States goes against his own intelligence for foreign countries, as Maya Angelou once said, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Believe them.
Better respect him.
He didn't walk in the White House hiding anything. Good evening, Louis. Are you on time again? She's speaking to you as well, nephew.
Oh, good evening. Good evening.
Toby.
I spoke. Good evening. Okay. Was it Miss Louise?
Yes.
Miss Royal. Yes, indeed. Good evening, Miss Royal.
Okay, so a lot has been happening lately in this country. Most of the troubles are coming from the White House. Yeah. Toby, I can see the top of your head. I can't see you.
The top of my head?
Blinked off again. And so every day there's something new that's troubling coming from the White House. Donald Duck has indeed left the White House, but evidence of him being there, we are still feeling every day. every day. Trump, a letter they released today from CNN.
I guess we lost Mr. Scott. Give us a minute. I guess we having technical difficulties. Bam, there he is.
We're back on.
Bam, there it is.
Toby, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Toby? Okay, we're back.
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. So today we learned that Trump tried to get 2 top DOJs to agree to put together a letter. That letter was going to say Trump won the election. It was rigged. They cheated. One of the top DOJs immediately responded. I'm a paraphrase what he was saying. He says, "I've been here for a long time. I will not do anything as ridiculous as that. I would rather resign from my position before I tell the American people a damn lie because you're a crook." The other DOJ basically said the same thing. I'm not going to do that. So I don't know what more it would take for those who love Trump and support Trump to realize one thing. You might be voting for him, you might be eating with him, but that bastard don't give a fuck about nobody but his goddamn self. This country is in a terrible shape right now. And this son of a bitch continues to go and speak. Every other day, there's new damaging information coming from the White House or the Pentagon on what he did, what he tried to do. And you can't see that the election was not rigged. 80 million people in America said, fuck Trump.
Yeah.
And kicked his ass out. Kicked his ass out. Because I know you remember, Toby, when Senator Obama won as the first Black president of the United States, my thoughts was all hell's about to break loose. We're going to see a civil war. I mean, it's just going to be terrible in this country. But you know what? It wasn't. As many white people I interviewed, they would come and we'd just be talking. They always said that President Obama divided this country. So when I asked them to explain it to me, let me see it, nobody could. And they couldn't because President Obama did not divide this country. He didn't. He did. He unified it. What we're seeing now with this jackass that just left, it's the side effects of him. Over 60 million, let me pull it up, America. I mean, 60% of America says for Donald Trump to run for president of the United States in 2024 would be terrible for the United States. Just the thought of him running would be terrible for the United States. And that's the gospel. That's the gospel. Trump is running on a personal agenda. He divided this country as no one in history has ever done. I don't know how come there's nothing in the rule book that says we can censor him because he was once president of the United States. You can't go nowhere else and speak about this country and running for the White House. It has to be something there that will censor him. And if it's not, well, this is good that we know it's not. They must put something there to shut jackasses up when they come out of the White House. You're still peddling lies that you won, and more evidence are coming out. If another piece of evidence, we've got more than enough. Ice Cube said it best: arrest the president. You got the evidence.
That's it.
It is ridiculous.
It's been there.
What's going on in this country right now? You have let me get to this one first. The white couple in Missouri. You remember that story when it came out?
Yes, sir.
Pointing gun, Black Lives Matter. Huh? You remember that?
Yes, sir. I remember it.
And exactly. I mean, we are the cameras are here. They've been called every name but the name on their birth certificate. Well, the governor of the state of Missouri let us know today. I just pardoned both of them. I just pardoned both of them. That was a promise he made to them, and the promise was kept. But a black man that's in prison right now, I think he's been there for over, is innocent, and the evidence is there. Won't do nothing for him. Won't do nothing for him. Here's what they're doing. They're telling us in our face right now, we don't give a shit about y'all. Trump gave them the courage to unmask themselves and let us know exactly who they are. Daily.
You have to look
things
at
come out against.
With him, I think he was in Missouri. So you have to think about actually about how many, what percentage of his constituents or the people that vote for him are black or African American. It's probably not a big
exactly
number. That's why he was comfortable, probably coming out saying it. But who's to say who told him to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Somebody else could have told him to do that.
Wait, let me interrupt. Yes, let me say this here. What Toby and I are speaking on tonight, Kevin bagging both of us up. It don't have anything to do with R. Kelly. Nothing. If you love, but we're not talking about R. Kelly tonight. And I hope you can understand that and respect that. We're not talking about R. Kelly. Wrong show. Go ahead, Toby. I apologize.
Oh yeah, but like I was saying, that's probably the main thing. Like I thought about that when I looked at it, and I didn't get a chance to look it up. But whoever, the people that's voting for him, he probably don't have a large number of African Americans because he wasn't worried about, the backlash.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy though.
Keep talking.
I say that's crazy.
Exactly. So New York's governor, Governor Andrew Cuomo, has been an excellent governor to that state. When he began to speak out on the coronavirus, many said, including me, God, I wish he was president of the United States right now. Or God, I wish he would run for president of the United States. This governor, along with the governor in Michigan, bucked Trump. They bucked it. And he don't like that. He don't like that. Whenever he speaks, you must listen. You must show him respect, especially in public. But they did. Respect is never given. Respect is always earned. Now, this is not a fact. It's just my opinion. And I could be 1,000,000% wrong. This is just my opinion. Whether Governor Cuomo is guilty or innocent, if you get to the root, somewhere down there, I promise you, you're going to see Donald Duck's name down there. I don't think the governor should resign. If you say I did this, then you all need to prove it. Or what they're doing now, they say they have enough votes to impeach him. If that's what they want to do, so be it. But here's the thing: allegations, Toby, all of us should know this. Allegations are just that. There are allegations of alleged victims. That's all, alleged victims. Allegations.
So wait a minute.
Does it mean he did it? Absolutely, positively, unquestionable. It doesn't mean that he has done what they are accusing him of. Especially when you look, let's take the state trooper. The state trooper alleges. Okay, I got rid of that slut. Okay, the state trooper alleges that she was in the office with the governor, and the governor sexually harassed her as well. He put his hand up under my shirt, which means he had to go through the bulletproof vest to do this and to do that. What she said took place, it had to last at least 2 or 3 minutes. So you're telling me a state trooper stood there and allowed 2 or 3 minutes and didn't arrest his ass when he tried to touch her in the beginning? Some things just don't make no earthly damn sense. It doesn't make any sense. You stood there and he did that. I think he's Italian. They're known for kissing people. Black, white, male, female. That's what they do. And because you see that, that doesn't always mean that it was sexual. He grew up with that. That's in him. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty, but here's what I am saying. There's no need for him to resign, and nothing has been proven. Nothing has been proven. So we know President Biden said he should resign. I just can't see. When you don't obey me, when you don't respect me, one way or another, I'm gonna get your attention. I'm gonna do it. And Trump has had it in for this governor since he left the White House. And I could be wrong, but I believe somewhere, if you dig hard enough, you're gonna see Donald Duck's name. So democracy is under attack in this country. When you are trying to get to a place, and we're going to COVID now, when you're trying to get to a place to where you say, we want a vaccine mandate. Really? So you're going to make me take a shot that I don't want to take. This, as I was a little boy told, is a free country.
Oh, yeah.
We're entitled to speak. Go ahead, Toby.
My guy, my brother told me a while ago when COVID first kicked off, he said after a while, those people who refuse to take a shot are going to be the outcasts. And he said that so many, the government was going to push that on people, whether it was microchipping to get ready for microchipping or whatever it was. He told me this in the beginning. He said they're going to push this vaccination on people to the point where the people that choose not to take the vaccine are going to be considered outcasts. And like it's coming to that point right now. It's coming to that point. Wow. But I've been an outcast my whole life, so I'm not worried about it.
Exactly. But that's powerful what was said, because exactly. That's true. I mean, you cannot insist I take something that I don't want to take. So if we let the crooks get away with this, well, I think we're all smart enough to know that's not going to be the end. So our voices will be silenced. We will have to do whatever they said we have to do. If I don't want to take the vaccine, if I don't give a damn if I live or die, leave me be. Leave me be. Well, when you go out in public, people that's been vaccinated, some of them are still getting the damn virus. The vaccine is not 100% proof that you will never get the virus. It's not. It's not. And so
No
someone once said
is.
comical, but it made a lot of sense. If the virus is that, go ahead, Toby.
No, I said it never have. No virus. I mean, no cure of anything or treatment that they ever came up with was 100%. And just like I continue to say, I'm waiting on the real side effects because like we all know in the medical field of people that just keep an eye on the medical field. It's coming. Like I said last time we discussed this. Warning: if you took the drug such and such and such and such as COVID treatment, call this number now. There's a class action lawsuit because when the consequences and repercussions, because right now, honestly, really, we just test dummies. Just keep it real. We just test dummies. They didn't have no real people to test that on. They test that on sick people and dying people. You know what I'm saying? And those were people that was already affected and already, you know what I'm saying, feeling the effects and caught up in whatever effects it was going to be. And they rushed that to the market. So basically, anybody that's taking a shot right now is a guinea pig. And they monitoring you to see any side effects and everything. They telling you right now, if you have this or if you have that, call your doctor or come in and meet. So it's testing. They testing us, and I'm not going to be tested on.
Toby, you know what? I agree. It's a test. Exactly. It's a test, and we just can't let the government continue to do what the hell they want to do in this country and say it's for the betterment of the people. I'm speaking for the people. If I'm not in agreement with you, you're not speaking for me. You're not. You got Bill Gates once said that there was too many people on this damn planet. Population control is a must. Now you have Bill Gates saying, take the vaccine, let's save a life. You can't make it make sense because it doesn't.
No, not at all. It's not going to make sense. And so, anybody with a mind, it's never going to make sense.
It's not. But you know what? It's scary, Toby. It's scary. When this virus came out, I didn't know about this series that was on TV. Maybe you've probably seen it. I didn't know about it till I found it on TV. The name of the series was Containment. Mm-hmm. And everything about that series is everything that's happening today. Simply put, every fiction story is based upon some truth. And so here we are getting extremely close to New World Order. And when they say New World Order, they mean it. Go ahead, Toby. And then I'm gonna give it to you.
Do you remember back when they had the rash of anthrax? When they were sending government officials mail with the powdery substance in it that turned out to be anthrax and was killing people. If you paid any attention to that then, like they announced when they figured out what it was, they could tell you exactly what country made that particular brand because they had other countries that had made that particular brand. And that goes into nuclear weapons. That's what it goes into, nuclear weapons. Like they say they got weapons that they planning in these other countries. You know what I'm saying? In case it's ever a world war, they have nuclear weapons that they can drop like they did in Hiroshima. Like that is what these people are playing with. That is the kind of stuff that was accidentally released and they not talking no more about. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. Like it is a form of population control because I still can't say if they didn't release it, you know what I'm saying, on purpose. It still haven't been, you know what I'm saying? But they know they can say where it came from because wherever they saying this came from, whether it's China or whatever, Japan, they have their own strain. So if they have their own strain, then that means America has their own strain too. Because everybody is fighting to keep up in the nuclear battle. So if that strain came from somewhere else, where did the new strain come from? They said it mutated. They said it mutated from the old strain. Did it mutate, or did somebody else release something? We don't know. So that's why I say, man, it's bigger than, like, I wear my mask literally almost everywhere, because just like I said, you really haven't told me how people are contracting it. You really haven't told me how people are passing it. You really haven't gave me nothing concrete to go on yet. Nothing. But just like I said, now you want me to take this shot.
That's
the shot that has already been proven. It's not going to cure it, or it's not going to stop me from getting it. So why is the emphasis on this shot when we really haven't found out, you know what I'm saying, what's going to cause the next mutation? What's going to happen when it mutate again? If I take the shots now, if I take 2 or 3 shots now, what's going to happen when it mutate again? I'm not going to be covered with that. They're going to tell me, okay, well, that shot don't cover that. And I whatever it is that you giving me, it's in me now. It's in me now. That could turn out to be anything. That could turn out to eat up your production organs or something where we can't have kids no more. We don't know what it's gonna do. I know one thing.
We don't.
They offering a lottery for people that take it. Think about that.
Come on, nephew. Come on, nephew. Come on.
They offering people $1 million. We're gonna enter you in $1 million lottery if you take it. Man, no. That's just like the PPP loan. Hey, man, you all the warning signs are there. If you take it anyway, I don't want to hear you crying when you lose a leg or you grow an extra leg, man. I don't want to hear you crying. That's
I mean, you know what? That's a you know, that's a valid point there. You hate my ass so much that you would give me $1 million just to kill me.
Hey, you'll give me an opportunity to win $1 million to save my life. You giving me an opportunity to win $1 million because you're trying to save my life. That don't even make sense to me, especially coming from the government.
It does.
No, nothing.
That's it. That's it. The government, since when has anybody in his or her right mind trusted the damn government? Hey, you know, this is ridiculous, because another problem is that you have too many people in the same department speaking on the same issue, and each one is telling you something different
story. That's it. A different story.
Don't make any sense. I think 93% of 93% of the patients, I think that's the right number, that are infected. These are the people that did not take the vaccine. Man, I just don't believe it. I just don't. We can play with numbers all damn day long.
Nah, but you not release them numbers on how many people, you know what I'm saying, still caught it after they took the vaccine. Release the number, you know what I'm saying, on the people that's suffering major complications, because you think, keep it real. We see the YouTube videos of the people that come out on their own and say, hey, I took the shot and did this. But let's be real. With all the promotion and fanfare to take the shot, do you really think the government would release the stats on how many people have been negatively affected by the shot? They're trying too hard to get you to take it. So what they at the same time, while they trying to pay you to take it or incentivize you to take it, would they come out and say, hey, even though we trying to incentivize you to take it, it's killing people? Like, no, it don't fit into the plan or whatever plan it is. They wouldn't be spending so much trying to promote us taking it to turn around and tell us how it's affecting us, the ones that's taking it. Stay woke.
And something you just said, something you said a few seconds ago made me think about the parents, especially the father. When I'm told that everybody in my house and kids of a certain age have to take the vaccine. So can you imagine a child looking at dad as the provider and the protector, but he can't stop this? Do you know how low that will make a person feel? I don't have any say so anymore of what goes on with my children.
That would strip a person of his dignity. That would strip a person of his dignity. And just like I said, The fact that we as black men are starting to stand up and respect our dignity and take control, like that might be the plan. I don't know. But then I know, just like I said, it's a strong push to get you to go into the unknown.
And that right there, I mean, you make me wonder what's really going on. I mean, y'all pushing this stuff every hour.
Seriously. And just like I said, I see people that talk about it and promote it, and I know in my mind 9 times out of 10 you haven't took that. They paid you to say that. I know about paid advertising. I know they paid different people to say different stuff. Like, man, I'm not buying it. Even the dude that's on there talking about this is our shot. No, that's your shot. You can have it. I'm okay.
Exactly. Don't include me in that damn foolishness. But look, I know that you have several projects that you're working on in the city of Shreveport, and I know your heart when it comes to what's going on, with shootings in the cities, homicides, and our youth. And so I know tonight you're getting ready to bring up some of the things that you're doing, and I'm anxious to hear what you got, your perspective of things that's going on in Shreveport and all over. So I'm gonna give it to you.
That'll work. Well, first of all, I want to, talk about a story. Rehash a story that's close to me. On Friday, July the 30th, the Caddo Parish Coroner's Office released a statement that 17-year-old Shamaya Little of Shreveport died from a gunshot wound. That hurt me. But for those who aren't keeping up with the story or haven't heard about it, Shamaya Little's body was found on July the 12th in the 4100 block of Curtis Lane in Shreveport after she was allegedly abducted at gunpoint on July the 6th near Doug Williams Park. Although she left home in the company of a young male friend who admitted to having been with her when allegedly a male approached them, pulled a gun, robbed them of their cell phones, and ordered them into a wooded area. The male friend said that at some point during the confrontation, he was able to run away from the scene, leaving Miss Little behind, and later flagged down a police officer to report the incident. As of today, no arrests have been made in this case. And I want to ask anyone with any information in that case to please call the Shreveport Police Department, because that is a young lady who died a violent death and she just didn't have to. I still don't understand it. I don't understand why, if you have a witness to the crime, why haven't any arrests been made? Why haven't, anything really been done about it? I'm not understanding. And we need to get answers. We need to, get answers.
And I know you speak with the family from time to time.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead, nephew.
Well, like I said, I talked to him, her aunt, and just like I said, they aren't getting any information but the information that the police is releasing to the public. And like I said, I still say, in a case where you have an eyewitness to a crime, to an abduction, I'm not understanding why no progress is being made. If that was, I hate to say it and make it a bring up the race card, but if that was a young white girl, I feel like it would be solved already. And I'm
testify.
Like it would be solved already, and I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with the fact that, just like I said, she ended up in a situation, man. Like Shreveport has been a violent place for a long time, and I can attest to that. But I can't remember a time when this many women have died. Not only her, her in the company of a male friend, boyfriend or whatever, but the amount of women that have been killed by boyfriends or ex-boyfriends or people who have supposed to love them at one point in time. I can't understand this. I have never seen this in my life. When did this become cool? This like even in the worst days of gang banging and stuff like this, like young girls, like when has it ever not been cool for a young girl accompanied by a male friend to walk to the park when a person allegedly feels comfortable enough to, you know, pull a gun on him and basically take his girlfriend and eventually kill her or whatever? I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding this as a whole. And I talked to you today because I was going to bring up the Black Panthers. And the reason why I was going to bring up the Black Panthers was the Black Panthers was initially started for a similar purpose. And that was the purpose of policing their own neighborhoods and protecting their people. And it was mainly against the police, but like when did we stop protecting the innocent people? Even as a gangbanger, even as a drug dealer, even with all the stuff I've ever done, I've been in a situation, honestly, and just like I said, I speak about my past, the stuff that's documented. But I did a 5-year sentence, because I went to kill somebody that had wronged me. But when I got there, I saw a young girl in that house. I saw a young girl in that house, and that changed my whole mind, because as soon as I looked at that young girl, I thought, that is your sister. That is somebody's daughter. That is somebody, like, she didn't have nothing to do with this. She didn't have, and I honestly, because it's on record, I had already shot the dude and everything. But I could not go further because I knew I would have had to do something to that innocent girl right there. And I couldn't do that. And I ended up catching a 5-year sentence behind it. But I went in there to kill somebody and just decide, like, I can't fathom that. I don't, in my worst mind frame, I cannot fathom harming a innocent person. You know what I'm saying? A person that's not in this lifestyle, or, you know, especially a woman, a young woman. Like, what headspace are these guys in right now? We need to start talking to our kids. Like, we need to get in their business. Really, we need to start getting in their business, because I see here kids today talk about business. My mom used to tell me when I was young, I ain't had no business. But whatever business they got and whatever business they into is leading them to prison, and it's leading them to the grave. We need to start getting we need to start talking to our children. We need to start talking to them about their friends. We need to start watching their friends. We need to start seeing what's going on. We need to start talking to them about drugs, because it ain't just weed and you know what I'm saying, alcohol no more like it was when we was coming up. It's worse than crack now. There's so many different exotic and different drugs and pills and everything that these kids are on nowadays, to the point where they're not in their mind frame. They're not in their right mind frame. They walking zombies, and they out here just, you know, killing each other, killing innocent people. No remorse whatsoever. How can you say you once loved somebody, but then, you know what I'm saying, can take a gun or beat her to death, or take a item or beat her to death, or take a gun and shoot her? That's ridiculous to me. That's ridiculous to me.
You know, I was listening to everything that you're saying, and like always, you had missed a beat there. But I was thinking about when I went to her funeral, and the pastor that did the eulogy, he stopped in the middle of it and asked the young man, what was he laughing at? And he said that because from the beginning of the funeral to that time, that young man sitting over there on the right had been crying. He had been crying. And something the pastor said finally got a laugh out of him. And so the pastor asked him, what is your relationship to this family? That little boy said, she my sister. He didn't say she was my sister. He said, she my sister. And I think that broke everybody down. what he said.
Oh man, that's like I said. I was so hurt. I don't even go to funerals. I went and pulled all the way down to the gymnasium and sat in the parking lot. Me and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to go. Like I just had to be close. Like that hurt my soul because, like I said, I know my city has its problems just like any other city. But
exactly.
when the innocence, like it's been too many kids, babies.
Exactly.
It's been too many, teenagers. It's been too many like innocent people. Like these people, they not a part of this. And that's why I said it hurts me because, like I say, don't nothing happen without somebody knowing, man. Don't nothing happen without somebody knowing. And we can say what we want to say. I am the guy that was out there with the hood on in the madness. We don't nothing go on without, know what I'm saying, nobody knowing. It don't happen.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
Somebody know what happened.
And I truly believe that. What I'm not believing is the young man's story. I just don't believe that story.
Me either.
It don't make sense, totally.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
I mean, if you're out there 11 p.m. at a park, whatever's going on, if someone walks up, pulls a gun on you, allegedly take your phone, allegedly walk you in the woods, you are the man. You should protect that woman at all times.
And that's
you don't leave the scene because you see an out. You left the scene and you left her alone, allegedly, with a man that allegedly had a gun and both of y'all cell phone. You left her there. It just didn't make sense.
I still, like I said, it won't make sense. It won't. I'm gonna say that it won't make sense to us because we not cut from that cloth. We would have. Our mama would have beat us to death. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. That's what I said. I had to think about. Okay, I don't know who raised the little dude. I don't know what. But like I said, I say this. Like if I'm in that situation, if you pull a gun on me, I'm right there. Like I should be able to tell you a description, a good enough description. Like this is 2021. Like there are pictures everywhere. Shreveport is not that big. Like why there's no, it ain't even been an arrest made. Like in the case of that, like I'm gonna say this. I don't even know the little guy, but I'm gonna say this. The guy, I'm gonna tell you this. If it would have been me, think about it. I'm gonna ask you this. In most cases where a woman or someone is involved, who's the first person they look at? The spouse. Okay, right. So if you was a boyfriend, a friend, or whatever, that's number one. You the spouse. But the last person you were seen with, think about it. Like you are the last person that saw her with somebody else, allegedly. You saw her with somebody else. But like as far as we know, like unless somebody, like they say they found blood at the scene, I don't know how long it takes to do, you know what I'm saying? But allegedly, I guess that wasn't the blood of anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That could have became a suspect or whatever. But I'm saying, like, in my opinion, in most cases, anywhere with this, anywhere similar to this, like that little dude would be the prime suspect. And I don't know, like say, I think he might be underage because she was 17, I think, but like, so that's why they didn't release any information or what. But like, as far as I know, last I heard, after dude was questioned and didn't give him anything because they haven't been able to arrest nobody, obviously. You didn't give them too much. But after you were questioned and gave them next to nothing, where they could do nothing with it, like you were released to your parents. And nobody has heard from you anymore.
Exactly. And I remember the mother saying on camera that he was talking at first and then he just shut down.
Exactly. And just like I said, what know what I'm saying? It may I don't know. Because we don't know anything. We don't know anything. And they're not releasing information. So if he quit, like he's a minor, I guess. So as a minor, we're not gonna say that he's quit talking. But I just like I said, I know the parents said he quit cooperating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yeah, but we're just going off what he said, right?
Yes. And just like I said, I don't know because like I will admit he's a minor. So they're gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, his name and information under wraps, you know, unless he's ever charged or whatever. Or what, but like that's probably why no information is being released. But like
it's ironic you bring this up tonight because earlier today I said I need to call nephew and see if there's an update on this case because I don't know about you. Shreveport right now, it's like an eerie quietness.
And that's and think about it, just like I said, with everything that go on, you know what I'm saying? Like the kids with everything, like understand, like I may be indifferent because I'm used to the shootings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm used to the shootings and, you know, innocent people I never get used to it emotionally, but I see that a lot. I see that, you know, regularly where people shooting at each other back and forth and somebody innocent. It's usually the innocent people. It's never the people you're shooting at that's getting shot and killed. It's always the innocent people. But it's like that case right there, not just because I know that family personally, but just because the nature of the case. Like I have daughters. So it's like, think about that. My daughter walking to the store, it's acceptable to somebody coming up, pulling a gun on her, even if she's in the company of somebody. Think about it. If that's happening, that could have been me. I could have been the guy walking with my daughter. And a guy run up, you know what I'm saying, and pull a gun on us. You know what I'm like? If we living in that type of Shreveport right now, man, we living in the last times. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to take up arms and we need to start walking these streets and protecting our streets and protecting our people. If that's the type of times we living in.
Toby, I honestly think that's exactly what we need to do. And I don't know about you, but I think if we go back to the Black Panthers, I think that might be something that we really need to do here.
I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why I wanted to bring that up, and I'm gonna get into that later. These were two college kids. Think about that. Think about that from a financial perspective. Think about that from a mental perspective. And, you know, resources. Think about the time. You know what I'm saying? Because this was like 66 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Like, these two college kids saw what was going on in their community. And they sat down and they put together a plan. And that plan grew. And they executed that plan until they not only started protecting the community. Do you realize they have over 30 programs from feeding the kids before they go to school because kids wasn't getting a proper meal in the morning? They started a food program. They started a free ambulance service. You know what I'm saying? Because people were getting questioned about their means of paying before they got to, you know, rush to the hospital. They started their own schools to teach their kids. You know, they started food programs to subsidize people monthly to give them food to last throughout the month. You know what I'm saying? Like they did so much, but like these were two college kids. Think about this. Like somewhere in Shreveport, there are two people. I'm willing to be one of them. There are two people that could start the same type of movement in Shreveport to start taking it upon ourselves to police our communities and better our communities. Like they did it on limited resources. They got out, they collected money, they raised money, they put that money where it was useful, and they made a difference. They made a difference. And we just sit around crying and whining. And like the more I see stuff like this, I want to do something. I'm doing something. I'm doing my part. But like you know, I'm only one man.
But I'm gonna be that number two man with you because I think somewhere down the line we also have to take the blame for this going on as long as it did, because we had been waiting on the parents to get it right, the police department to get it right, but there were signs every day that it wasn't getting any better. But now that you bring that up, I think that's exactly what needs to happen. I mean, without a doubt, and it's not something we can procrastinate on.
I'm gonna show you something though. The piece I was doing on the Black Panthers. Okay, the whole concept of the, you know what I'm saying, this movement. I'm gonna use the breakfast, you know what I'm saying, program as an example. These people set up the program to where really it was community ran. They brought the women in, taught the women how to, you know what I'm saying, prepare food, you know what I'm saying? So also you can take this home and prepare healthy meals for you and your kids. But the mothers worked in the kitchen preparing the food. So in the morning, these kids got to get up and go here where all the mothers in the community were cooking breakfast. And then they had the men in the neighborhood serving the kids breakfast. And they did that because the communal environment, men taking part, you know what I'm saying, women taking part, and that's showing the kids, and they knowing that is instilling in the kids to when they get older to want to come back and help too. And it's like that's the same type of program that I'm working on, but that's the same type of program I feel we need. It's past due. It's past due. Where we come together, we pool our resources, we pool our knowledge, we pool our experience to if we choose to work with, you know, the SPAR or the facilities and places that's already in place, but we can work within those confines or create our own to, you know what I'm saying, start taking back our communities. It's like parents don't care anymore. Like, think about it. When have this many kids ever been exposed to this much violence? I'm talking about young and like for real, like the baby who got killed. When like I know that parent in that house, whether you have a teenager or whether it's an adult or whatever, you know who's the problem in your environment. If you have young kids, women, if your man is selling dope or your man is out here gang banging and you are having this man in the house around your kids, you are in violation. You are in violation. You know you got them in a bad environment. That is man, do something. Do something. Well, somebody that see the situation, say something.
Nephew, that's heavy. That's heavy, and I'm glad you bought it raw, uncut, because that's the way it needs to be said. You know, and too many times women do it. Anyone that says I love you or got a little money or whatever, you bring them in, you move them in, you have kids. You don't know anything about this brother other than what he has shared with you.
Until you and him both, until you on the news because he molested your child or he beat your child to death. Read the newspaper. It's in there every day. It's in there every day. That's what I'm saying. It's in there every day. Like, if I didn't have to research for this show, I would turn the TV off and I wouldn't watch it because that hurts me in a different way. I have sisters, I have daughters, I have sons that I have to eventually let out into that world. Some of them are already out there. They out there.
And if you're into a relationship with someone that's involved in criminal activities, you have to realize this. This individual may not be with you long, because with what he's indulging in, he could get killed or he could go to prison. Now, if he out there robbing and jacking, or he's a dope dealer or whatever, wherever you and him and your child are laying your head, it's a strong possibility that house could get shot up. It's a strong possibility. We had I don't know the story, but the little boy in Minden last week, 11 o'clock at night, shot and killed.
That's it. Now, who he was beefing with? What gang he was in? Was he selling dope? 3 years old, huh? Somebody knows something though, because just like you said with that story, police believe it was a retaliation from. So if the police believe it was a retaliation, the people involved already know. If the police believe, people involved already know.
Come on.
People, and I done been in that. I've never, God forbid, I've never, because I never, indulge in that lifestyle in the company of my family or around my family. I never did that. Like, I got out of Dodge because I know it's consequences and its repercussions. But those people know that. Whether you're gonna go back and handle it on your own, or however we know how it's gonna play out. But like, that child is gone, man. That child is gone, and that child didn't get a chance. That child didn't get a choice. That child didn't get a choice, man. The kids not getting choices nowadays. Shamaya, she didn't get a choice. She didn't get a choice, man. The women that's getting beat to death by their boyfriends and stuff like, or as a parent, did you not know that your daughter was in an abusive relationship? Why? I don't care if she grown. I don't care if I got grown daughters right now. They don't tell me stuff because they know I'm riding. I'm like the youngsters say nowadays, I'm gonna pull up. They don't tell me stuff. My sisters don't tell me stuff because they know, man. Those are the women, man. Since day one, we have been taught to protect the women, and now they killing them, man. They killing them before they can even grow up to be women, before they can even grow up to, enjoy life, bring a child in the world, nurture somebody, anything, man. That is the earth, and they killing it. They killing it quicker than these white people killing the earth itself. They killing it.
Exactly. And so when you into that lifestyle with someone, it is your responsibility because God blessed your womb so that you can bring a life into this world. You are responsible for that child.
And that's what
you are responsible for everybody that comes in that house around your child.
Yes. Every person you let them go around, everything. Like I say about mine, until you old enough to talk to me and tell me what's going on, you're not old enough, to be out of my sight or out of my home. Because if you go somewhere, I want you to be able to tell me if something happens. And just like I said, nowadays that is not, it's dead. Huh? Just like I said, social media. These women, I watch women up and down my timeline on social media, and it's a new man every other month. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, and like I said, it's not nothing personal on how you do you. But if you have a child, if you have children, it's not all the time about you. Even I knew that. It's not all the time about you.
Exactly. But so here's the thing when it comes, and we're not beating up on the female, but again, you are responsible for your child. But
men too.
Exactly.
Yes.
But when you get to a point to where you just said about the new relationship, then here's another one, then here's another one. Well, before that girl has given herself time to heal from the last disturbing relationship, she has her panties down again. You got to take time to find yourself, find out who you are, and find out why you keep meeting men that's a criminal, or will beat your ass from the rising of the sun until the going down of the same. You got to have a meeting with yourself because it's something in you that keep attracting the wrong man. He's not good for you, and he sure as hell won't be good for your child.
Conditioning. Just like I said, conditioning. The girls who are raising kids now were raised by conditioned, who were raised by conditioned. And just like I said, we ain't gonna keep hashing on it, but it go back to the crack era where it robbed people of morals and values. You know what I'm saying? Because before then, we were big on family. Black people were big on family. When crack hit the scene, it killed the morals and values of the black people. And just like I said, those people that were damaged, just like I was telling you before, the friends of mine who were abandoned, the female friends who were abandoned during that time and molested, and like those women, damaged women, had kids. Those damaged guys who were abandoned, who were out selling drugs as a means to, get a meal. Some people hustle just to have nice shoes and, nice cars. I know people who, was stealing because they mom had took and ran off and sold all the food stamps and the welfare check. I know people, I helped my friends steal so we could go home and cook so everybody could eat. Even when I had a meal, my mom, I made sure, but I stole with my friends to make sure they ate. But those people, us of that generation, are raising kids. We having kids and we raising kids, and it's the same mentality. It's the animalistic mentality. It's the selfish mentality. And just like I said, with the distraction right now of if a parent is working, or these women that sit around with the social media all day, it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to let your child out of your sight. You have to let your child out of your. It's like it's not on the mothers. Like, I have to let my child out of my sight, but it has to be a bigger support system. It has to be even with the single mothers. We have to figure out a way to support them, to say, at least have, like I said, have a safe place to say, you bring him here and he'll be safe. We gonna make sure that, because I guarantee you, you couldn't have came in my hood, you know what I'm saying, back in the days, and grabbed up no female. They could have came in Grimmie Drive and grabbed up one of them little females out of Grimmie Drive. You could have came to the Cooper Road or Motown or Cedar Grove or Queensboro and nowhere else, and grabbed a little girl out of her neighborhood like that. They would have beat you to death. They would have ran you down, or we'll still be hunting for you right now. And I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see that. And that was, and you think about it, that was in our worst times as far as gang banging, drug dealing, and all of that. You couldn't have did that though. If somebody would have caught somebody doing something like that, like, it would have been a shootout. He would have had 4 or 5 dudes shooting at him if you pull a gun on a little girl and a teenage girl and a teenage boy. Talking about taking a girl, man.
You know what? Exactly. That wasn't going to happen. But you remind me of something a while back. When a person, male and female, is easy to please, oftentimes that person is going to be easy to fool
and manipulate.
Exactly. And when some women, not all, meet certain guys, what they might not know about that guy is that the guy they met, they share a lot in common. So I know this is for me. But really, you don't share a lot in common. Here's what happened. Without you knowing, that brother had been watching you. He studied you. He studied your strengths. He studied your weaknesses. He even knew your favorite color. And he knew he couldn't come to you as he was. So he had to come in disguise, because coming as the real guy, she probably wasn't going to give him the time of day. But he done studied her so well. And it done blew her mind how much they are alike, or they share in common. But this brother was on a mission. He was on a mission, especially if the sister's getting any kind of welfare system. She's in a low-income house. He needs a place to lay his head. The woman becomes, the government becomes a crutch for the woman. The man comes in. That's how it goes. So we have to be careful who we're letting in our circle, especially, as you keep saying, where there are kids involved, because you got to get past the moment. Don't let dick cloud your vision. Don't do it.
That little girl that got killed on Facebook Live, it was a baby in the background.
Sure.
It was a baby in the background a split second before that happened. Know what I'm saying? Imagine it. Just like I said, because that child, 9 times out of 10, because he's a young black male, he's going to get shipped off to a parent. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get the proper counseling or help that he'll need. And he was right there in that traumatic situation. And he's going to grow up probably without dealing with that, because you think about it, as men, we supposed to toughen up and suck it up, you know what I'm saying, and push through. As women, who single mothers, you know what I'm saying, and heads of households, they have no choice but to suck it up, you know, and push through. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you have to do that to make it. But I'm saying, like, I understand it, but just like I said, it's bigger than that, just that person. There's a community. There's a community. That, like, think about it. Just like we talk about it in the neighborhood. When we grow up, it was a lady that kept the kids. You know, it was one lady that, or 2 ladies that kept, and it wasn't no too many. It was 1 or 2 ladies that kept the kids. And that lady had a safe haven. Everybody made sure that was a safe haven. And it was just a different environment. Even in the midst of all the gang banging and the madness and the negativity, there was still a sense of community. There was a sense of family. And like we losing that. We losing that. And we have to get it back.
Right. Oftentimes I sit and I think back to when we grew up in the bottom on Travis Street, and I remember the songs my mama used to like. I remember Sundays after church, we all went over to Aunt Isabel's house. Mm-hmm. The whole family's coming over there, and the pastor's coming over there. And we always had that family time. We had that family.
Exactly.
But now the family time is gone. Even if you say, we're going to have dinner tonight together as a family at the table. Okay, if you really want to have family time, nobody bring electronics to the table. Don't do that. Don't bring your cell phone. Don't bring your tablet. It's family time, but we got to get back to that. Everything you're saying is the gospel. We have to get back to loving our kids again.
Think about this, though. Grandma Eddie Mae knew probably every child in Grimmy Drive.
She did.
By name.
She did.
And if she saw you somewhere doing something, hey boy, you better get on this and that there. I'll whoop your butt and I'm gonna call your mama and I'm gonna tell your mama and she gonna be waiting on you when you get home. But that dude was protected. That child was protected. Simply, it was protected. Like we don't even know our neighbors. Just like we talked about before. We don't even know our neighbors nowadays. People stay on the same block with us and we don't know them. And just like I said, somebody could be breaking in their house, killing them the next door. In our mind, like that I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do. That ain't my business. Till it happened at your house. Then you want it to be everybody's business.
Exactly. Sad, but everything you're saying is true. Some things you have to make your business. You know, that's your neighborhood. Toby, brother, I'm glad to have you as a host on this show. You keep it 100. You keep it 100. I greatly appreciate you.
I couldn't do nothing else. You my uncle. What could I do? I couldn't do nothing else but keep it real. You my uncle. that was bred in me. I can't tell nothing but the truth as I see it. And like I said, if I say it, I'll add some more to it before I take it back because I have to stand up. I am a man.
But yeah, we are going to do that, you and I, and whoever else you want to bring on board. We're going to go back to the neighborhoods, and we're not just going to go back to the neighborhoods that we grew up in. We're going to the neighborhoods. You know, everything else that is being tried in Shreveport, at least, it's not working. It's not working. So if it's not working, if you look back on history, and we're gonna get out of here, history will always be your best teacher. So if you look back on the Stop the Violence rallies, mm-hmm. the neighborhood block party, all you're doing is entertaining. And so that's not working. So if that's not working, then what do? Common sense. You got to approach this another way. But you also have to have a mindset to know that this is not working and we need to approach it in another way, just as you're laying out your plan. Because you see what's not working. Exactly.
But see, that's the thing about people. Like it's okay with the people, the politicians. They go out into the pub, you know what I'm saying, and they give out information, but they not taking in the information. You trying to figure out what's going on. And like I said, the thing about that is a lot of us with us, I know I figure it the same way. The best way to get us to come out is to entertain. But just like I said, when we put it together to get y'all out to entertain y'all, we also have to let y'all know that, hey, we trying to help too. But the only way we can help is we need y'all to talk to us. So let's get together in another setting. We're going to have a meeting here at this time, this and that there. We want y'all to show up and bring as many people as you can because we have some more entertaining, to do. Yeah, exactly. On the adult level.
Right. I want you to respond to this comment from Florence Seaman. She says, you can't tell a child anything nowadays. The mama want to fight you. I'm gonna let you respond.
And that is what I'm talking about. The mental conditioning. Think about it. That's how I just was talking to somebody about that today, about teaching at school. And I was cracking a joke, but it's true. I said the people these days, you don't even want to teach their kids, because the kid will cuss you out and then go home and tell the mama something different, and she'll come up there and cuss you out and be ready to fight. And like that is what. But I'm gonna say this to say that, and God forbid, as human beings, even with that situation right there, and I'll be the last person to get people involved, especially, you know what I'm saying, any governmental, you know what I'm saying, organization involved in what we're doing. But some people need CPS, man. Some people need child protective services. I'm not gonna lie. Some people need child protective services, because you think about it. If I can't whoop my child to try to protect my child, some of the situations that women allow their kids to be in, or some of the, you know, that like that type of activity like that, when I'm trying to tell you, a teacher is trying to tell you something about your child, and you come up here with the madness, like you need to be reported. They need to send you to a parenting class or something. Like, hey, you need. Yeah. It has to be because if not, then she gonna continue to raise them kids like that, and those kids are gonna grow up to be just as, you know, messed up as she is, and that's true.
You know, yeah, I totally agree with that. I said some women and men just, they don't need kids because they don't know how to handle them. Most of the times nowadays, the kids in the bedroom or wherever they're at, watching TV, playing a game, or on Facebook. So you don't know your child, you don't have no relationship with your child, and you're disrespecting your child. Well, then a child is going to disrespect you. And so it's an ongoing cycle and stuff. So you're right. Some needs to enter into parent classes, but it's not something to where you go there for 60 days, and at the end of 60 days you get a certificate. I mean, you just can't teach parenting in 6 damn months. No, you know.
No, it's
we say what needs to be said to get out.
Exactly, and just like I said, we need to be able, you know what I'm saying, to put stuff in place to work with her. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just on her. She's conditioned. You know, she didn't choose to be conditioned. Whoever the woman is, like, she didn't choose. Like she was saying about, you know what I'm saying, the kids. 9 times out of kids, the mother was raised like that. So it's like, if the mother is raised like that, can you even blame her? But okay, you responsible for, you know what I'm saying, getting to a point where you realize, hey, there's some things about me that I need to change.
You know, I've met women, and I'm sure you have, and oftentimes they're said, I don't bring no men to my house because I have kids there. I go to the hotel, I go to his house, and we have sex or whatever. But here's what they're missing. They're not seeing you do this here. But guess what? It's in the blood. It's in the blood. So they're going to do the exact same thing, whether they see you do it or not. So somebody has to realize this is a generational curse, and somebody needs to break it.
It is. It is.
All right, we got to get out here. As always, we thank you all for tuning in to tonight's live broadcast. I'm Al Scott. I'm not always right, and you're not always wrong. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Toby, I'm gonna give it to you, and we're gonna get out of here.
Thanks a bunch, y'all. Hey, call in, give us some comments. Let us know if you're in the Shreveport area, if you're interested in working with us to try to make a difference in the community. Reach out, you know, through the Injustice Investigation News page, and we'll start planning events to get out, you know what I'm saying, and really do some work, to really do some, you know, talking and shaking some hands and trying to get some plans together, because it's time to do something. I appreciate y'all giving us y'all time tonight. Take care.
Y'all have a good night. Love you big time.